let's start this as well. Alright. It's finally working out, guys. We at least got the third game of Focus versus WarchiefRich now. We sadly missed the first and second one, because after blue screening out of Remind versus Foggy, and admin thought that I wasn't streaming, so I actually got kicked out of the game of Focus versus Rich out of the first one, so we missed the first two. But now it's working out after Twitch having issues as well and all that beautiful stuff, like streams went completely down and all that kind of stuff. But now it is working again, so we finally have a beautiful game here. At least we get the third game of Rich versus Focus, or Focus versus Rich, whatever you want to call it. And it is on Ancient Isles. I was really looking forward to this Focus games, and I actually really hope that he's winning now, because I'd really like to see Focus play in general, especially against Night Elf. It's really enjoyable to see him play. Like, it just looks like magic sometimes when he plays against Night Elf. It's really awesome. We see the standard Blade Master Demon Hunter. There's really nothing else to be expected in this matchup here, especially not on this map. And Focus likes to go for one burrow tech. And it seems like he's going for that again with that early Voodoo Lounge here. But it's Ancient Isles, so this is quite far open, so he can't really block it with a grunt only. So let's see how he's actually gonna get his second burrow up here without it getting cancelled, if Rich is being aggressive. But first we have to find out if Rich is gonna be aggressive in the first place, so let's see.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alright, I was just catching up with chat a little bit as well. And Rich is creeping the first camp already. Focus, I think, is gonna go into creeping as well. Yep, looks like it. And it's just what Orc usually does on this map. Although it's also kind of risky to a certain extent. Because if he gets the Augur Magi and just gets the item and gets out of here, it's fine. But usually, as far as I remember, Focus likes to try to creep the whole camp. And if he tries to creep the whole camp, Demon Hunter usually arrives there in time to do quite a strong harass, and it just absolutely doesn't pay off for Focus. But since Rich is actually creeping this fully with his Demon Hunter, I guess he wants to make sure that Blade Master can't steal anything in case he would be harassing early on. Rich is actually not going aggressive at all, he's just letting Focus creep. And gets his own level 2 here. Loves the face for Focus, while there's a circlet for Rich. Rich definitely got the better item there. But it's still not all too bad for Focus. And there's his tech already. It's the one burrow tech as predicted, and he's going for a second burrow here already. And seems to be quite confident with that. Like, he basically always goes to one burrow tech against Night Elf as far as I know. Unless it's like a really special map or something. And the question now is, how is he gonna get his level 2? He's healing up his grunt and his blade, so he doesn't want to creep the green spot for level 2, because he doesn't want to get his healing cancelled. He could potentially get level 2 by killing a Wisp or the Archer. Or maybe he will just try to creep this here, which is really, really awesome. It is risky, and Rich will not scout for it actually. He's scouting for this, I guess, with his Demon Hunter, so he's completely missing this, and Focus gets his level 2 this way. It cost him 2 Windwalks though, so he didn't get it for free. But I like that he's taking this spot. If he would have sent his grunt there as well, he could have maybe taken the whole spot, but instead he just goes through this now. Gets boots on his blade, he just sold the item that he got here, so I guess it was a Ring of Protection. And I like that he at least got one of those creeps here, because that means that Rich can get less creeps through Ancient 04 creeping. So Focus impairs the creeping of Rich a little bit as well, which is always an awesome thing to do. Rich actually bought an additional circular at the shop here, so Focus couldn't buy it. And he probably would have done so, although I'm actually not too sure, to be honest. Really depends on how you want to play this out. But it means that the Demon Hunter is really strong now. He has double circlet, he has claws, he doesn't have boots though. I guess he's waiting for them, he's just gonna finish off the creeps here. Focus only took those Troba circles because they're easy to creep, they take bonus damage from the normal damage of the grunts, while this guy doesn't. So he just finished this off, didn't want to risk getting creep checked. Rich though just thinks like, oh okay, you didn't finish it off, I'll just take it, it's easy to take, it's only one creep. And Focus in meantime gets this whole spot here, which is also quite nice to creep for him, since those creeps here that he already killed have medium armor as well. So I take the bonus damage from those grunts. And he got his all free Blade Master, he got another ring of protection, which is pretty unfortunate for him. His Blade Master really doesn't have that great items. And his third burrow is only coming up now, which is pretty late. And it could get cancelled, potentially. There's the illusion from the Demon Hunter, and that means that he can Staff of Teleport onto it if he wants to do so. But it seems like he wants to keep the Staff of Teleportation to actually get out of the base. But Focus could definitely manage to do it in a way that the Demon Hunter cannot get into a base without Staff of Teleporting into there. And the Blade Master, even though he doesn't have the best items, is already doing quite some work. Getting 2 crits here. It's only a 62 crit though and a 96 one crit because he doesn't have any bonus damage. So it's not too much damage, but it's still quite something. That Beastmaster still managed to staff out though with the Staff of Teleportation, so he's good to go. But there's no Staff of Preservation yet for Rich, because he actually only now started building his shop. He's getting his shop pretty damn late. Tier 3 tech is almost halfway done though, so that's something at least. And Focus already going into his first units. He only has 2 grunts. That's what you oftentimes see from Orc in this matchup, that they only go for 2, maybe 3 grunts, because they rather invest their gold into Spirit Walker and Raider against this talent strategy. But if you go for a lower amount of grunts, it's a lot harder to creep up your TC, so it also has some negative effects here. And since the Blade Master is level 3 already, he can roam around the map and go for some aggression here. He wanted to keep Rich from creeping this. Rich first wanted to creep this, but then decided against doing it, because he still saw the Blade Master windwalking there, if I'm not mistaken. And there's the first Raider already, and Snare will be ready quite soon as well. The first Spirit Walker is not there yet though, because he didn't move out of the base yet. Now he's on his way though. And Focus should be able to steal this. There's no dust for Rich. And Focus actually didn't steal it. He was too late to hit it with his Blade Master. So it's actually the level 3 for Rich, which is pretty damn bad for Focus. He at least still got the item, which is the Sentry Wards here, which is pretty damn nice for him. Didn't get a surround on the Demon Hunter. There's no Staff of Preservation, so a surround would have been nice, but his Blade Master can keep it up, and his TC also has to be pretty careful. There's a Scroll of the Speed though, so he can get away. Quillbeast doesn't manage to block. But Focus cannot take this fight. He also couldn't steal the creep, so this is looking really good for WarchiefRich so far. But there we go. There's a potential surround here now, but he needed the Ensign to actually get the surround. So he can just step out of there because there's no second Raider for a second Ensign yet to actually cancel the staff. He's just on his way now. And Focus getting his 4th burrow far too late. So he's actually at 600 gold but cannot use it at all. Well, he can buy items and he just did so. But it still would be better for him if he could continue producing now already. He got the first Invul Pot and Heal Scroll door from the shop here, and this one is easier to access for Rich than the other one. So that's quite nice for Focus that he at least has this kind of shop control. But Rich can definitely also still get his own scrolls and such, since there's 2 shops on this map. It's not Echo Isles, where there's only 1 shop. Sentry Ward placed for Focus though, so he has some more map vision, he knows what's going on here. And he's already pulling his peons, but his peons are really getting picked off on the way, especially the Spirit Walker that hurts quite a bit because he can get mana burned. And there we go, he's completely out of mana now already. So there's only this one Spirit Walker to cast Spirit Link and to cast this spell. So Focus being really low on this spell already, he's also kind of low on HP. He at least got the big level 6 troll though, so he got the Healthstone on his TC. Which is a nice pickup, especially because Rich didn't get it. Healthstone would be really strong for the Night Elf player here. But Focus, he barely has a level 2 TC now. And doesn't have that much at all. He finally continued production since that burrow finished. And he's getting another burrow already as well. But that one, I think, is also a little bit too late. Even. Well, it depends on when he wants to break Upkeep. But I think he would have liked to break it now already, almost. Well, it doesn't actually matter too much. He's just investing the gold that he has right now while he's still supply blocked into items. But he's not in a perfect position to defend. Rich is already going pretty aggressive. He has his Mass Upgrade, he has his Tinker, he has the Orb of Venom. But, well, he does actually have a TP, so he can get out of here. And that Pocket Factory is just beautiful. It keeps Focus from getting into his base to defend against this. So it gives Rich a lot of time to kill burrows, nicely saving some Druids of the Talon here as well with the Crow form. So he didn't lose anything yet. There's the first Talon dying though, and Focus is finally getting into his own base to defend. But he already lost 3 burrows, and he's still not taking the best of fights. Already used 1 heal scroll as well. The Spirit Walker can save himself with the Ethereal form. Still dies to the mana burn and the focus from the Talons though. Those two can just fly away now as well. And it's 46 against 48 supply in favor of WarchiefRich. And this is looking pretty damn bad for Focus at this point. He sells the Health Stone, rather gets Healing Salve and Clarity instead, and some burrows, which he definitely needs.
A player's forces are under attack.
Healthstone could have been nice, but at this point Focus needs to get something done. And the Healthstone is not gonna save him really, so he rather gets those, I think it's 300 gold? Or maybe 225, I'm actually not entirely sure, since you don't usually sell that item, so I actually don't know the full selling price. But he gets a Mana Stone here, gets closer to his level 3 TC, which is nice. But in the meantime, WarchiefRich also manages to creep quite something. He got himself another TP, no heal scroll for him yet. So if the TC reaches level 3, he's gonna have issues against the Shockwave if he doesn't get good mana burns. Ring of Region for the Beastmaster. Probably not the best item, but it's still quite good, I would say, just for the sustain in the fight, and he also burns less Moon Vultures because he gets more healing for the Ring of Region. But a nice catch on the Beastmaster. He has the TP though, so he can self himself, but if he has the TP out so early already, that would really suck for him. There's no 2 staff, so he actually has to swap the staff, but since Demon Hunter has full inventory, he can't really do it. Swaps the staff. What, he actually decided to swap the staff, even though he could have done it. So wants to keep it on his Beastmaster. That was a good opening to the fight for Focus. Focus would preferably have level 4 Blade Master and level 3 TC though before he starts the fight, but he doesn't really have the time for it because it's about contesting this spot here, so Focus is basically pressured into a fight anyway. Because at this point, you could also say he can just move across the map and take those spots here, but then WarchiefRich just takes this, moves into his base and kills every single burrow again. So he doesn't want to do that. But WarchiefRich now just wants to take the spot and is successfully doing so. He gets a dragon. What item does he get though? Where the hell is it even? Where the hell is that item? Oh, there we go. So an Illyrious Field of Accuracy. A nice Shockwave for Focus. And Rich didn't manage to pick up the item because it's like right underneath that mercenary camp. So it's really hard to click actually. And you don't even see it. Like this you can see it. You really have to turn your camera to be able to pick it up. And Focus doesn't even see it because of this. If you have your camera normally here, you don't see the item. None of the players has the Delirious Field of Accuracy now. It's just gonna later. It would have been really nice for Rich, since he mostly has ranged units, although his heroes, his main damage sources are melee. That still wouldn't have been too bad. Could have at least sold it if he would have wanted to, but he probably would have kept it. But now none of the players gets it, and Focus still seems to be in an okay spot here. Focus can definitely come back into this. He didn't have the best early game here, especially mid game. But it is Focus after all. He's getting closer to level 4 and level 3. And there's again a TP for Rich. He already invested into 2 TPs, and now he just got his 3rd one. So that's quite a lot of gold that he invested into that. Only 1 heal scroll for WarchiefRich. 1 Shockwave went through here already, but it's still only level 1. But it's also a Mana Stone for a TC, so that's half a Sobi Mask. Looking at the mana regeneration of an increased 25%, a Sobi Mask would be 50. And at the same time, it is a greater mana potion. And none of the players really want to go for the fight here. Rich actually breaking upkeep, which is not that usual in this matchup. But he's doing so, finally losing his archer, the only archer he had in this game, and it's only dying now. And nice Engineers on the Fairy Dragons. If he can pick this off now, it would be awesome. Throw Berserker as well for Focus, that's really nice against his human composition from WarchiefRich. And he gets an easy pick off on the Fairy Dragons. Well, actually no, they both survive with low HP, but they will get picked off eventually. There's a level 3 for the TC. His Shockwave completely missed everything though, it hit like 2 talons. That was really damn bad, actually. And there's the Demon Hunter again, he wants to keep him away from his army, preferably, but he's not really doing so yet. And those Raiders are just not really doing anything. They should be focusing those Druids of the Talon. But this fight is really just all over the place for Focus right now. But he's going for some nice Demon Hunter focus here. And it actually seems to be working out. Is there enough Ensnare though to keep him from getting stuffed? Not at the moment, it seems like. And TC actually is getting into trouble, has to be careful. He sold the Healthstone, so He doesn't have that anymore to save him. There's the Master now, and a beautiful wave. There we go. That's the opening that Focus needed. It's still 64 against 45 supply from Rich. But this is looking good for Focus now. His TC just has to be pretty careful. Another shockwave only onto the Demon Hunter. Really, Focus's shockwaves not being on point here. But the Tinker also going down for WarchiefRich here, so since it was a level 2 Tinker, that takes quite a long time to get him back. If it would have been only level 1, it would have been kind of okay still. But Focus, with the shop control, he got another 2 heal scrolls, and now he can actually really turn around this fight. There's still a TP for WarchiefRich though, but he first should staff his Demon Hunter out to be able to save him, but there's now the end snare. And if he gets good crits here, he doesn't have any bonus damage on Blight Mask, but level 2 crit is still gonna hurt. He has to be careful, there's 1 crit, and he still doesn't staff him. Holy shit! WarchiefRich has nerves of steel. He was so low HP and he still managed to swap the health potion in time. But this is looking so good for Focus. Focus really getting back into his game. He still has another heal scroll. He has such a big supply advantage. And Rich still not getting out of his side. He's not even trying to TP. GG's out and Focus actually advances to the semifinals. Awesome. There we go.